So there was a point in my life, well, actually, most of my life, where I truly did not like technology or information technology in general, guys. So I want to go back to when I was a kid. I remember being a kid, not really having an interest in technology, gadgets, and things, right? I thought that they were dumb. I thought that they were the stupidest thing in the world. I just really cared about playing outside, right? Like my main thing was just going to go play sports, play basketball, play football with my friends and stuff like that. I hated technology. I hated anything that involved like tech, right? Now, even and it translated into other things, right? Like, so I was not, as a kid, I was not really into like science and math. Actually, those were my worst subjects, believe it or not. At least until I got to about middle school to high school when it started to click for me, and I'll get to that in a second. But I remember in third grade we had to build this car. It was some type of like class that we had, but it was a technology class. It was like some ingenuity class or whatever, and we had to build this car out of a milk carton, and so a couple of straws. So you had to use a milk carton, some straws, and like some popsicle sticks or some shit like that or whatever, right? And I remember being so frustrated that I was not able to build a car that could go down this ramp there's a competition. So you had to build a perfect enough car to where you had to go down the ramp and to roll as far as you could. And whoever got their car to roll farthest was the person who, won essentially the science fair or the project or whatever the case is, right? So that was pretty much how that went, right? I hated it. I did not do very well at that project. I didn't fail it, right? We did okay, but I just hated all of what we had to do to get it to work, to get that project to just like work, right? So I will tell you that once I got to second grade, things started to change. I remember there was a science fair in second grade, and with the science fair, I had no interest in science or math. I did not like either one of those, okay? But when the science fair came up, a letter had went home to my mother, and she was like, "So what did you do for the science fair?" Now, the science fair was optional. You didn't have to do it, but a lot of the students in the school were doing it. I was going to opt out. I was not going to make a project or anything like that, right? I wasn't doing anything with the science fair. My mother says, "What was your science project on?" I said, I'm not doing the science fair project." She said, "The hell you ain't. You are going to do the science fair project." And I'm like, "But why? It's optional." She says, "No, because science is important and you're going to need to know how to do some things because this is just something that's really important and you should actually do it. And who knows, you actually could wind up winning the science fair." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. Like the last thing that I'm going to do is win a science fair." Like it was no way that was going to happen. Absolutely fucking not, right? So she was like, because they sent home a list of the things you could pick from the science fair. And she said, "Pick one of these things off the list you want to do the science fair on." Guys, I picked the worst thing on that list that I believe that would not get me to even place or to even be a part of the science fair, right? I picked laundry detergent. And it was essentially using two different laundry detergents. The reason why one was able to clean more than the other, and talking about the chemicals within the laundry detergent and some shit like that. It was something stupid, something boring. I said, "Yeah, this right here, this is going to be over very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and do this project and get my mother out of my face and get her off my back," right? So what happened was when we did that science project, I actually we did the project, my mother and I, but when we finished the project and we had to go do the presentation, and I want to tell you guys, it was probably like maybe 100 students that entered this science fair. Again, actually it wasn't second grade, it was more like fourth or fifth grade. I apologize. I remember it was like 100 students that entered this into this science fair, and it was time to do my presentation. It was about 4 or 5 teachers. One of them might have been a principal or something that came up and they wanted my presentation. And I was able to explain the process of one detergent over another and how this detergent was better than that detergent and this, that, and the third. And I was able to articulate it very carefully and this, that, and all this stuff. Like the presentation was absolutely amazing. So much so to the point that I'm literally selling these guys, my teachers and principal, on what detergent that they should use versus using some of the other brands that they had been using before or what they're currently using, right? So turns out, as they went through all 100 students, it took them literally the entire day to go through this, right? And my mother didn't even make it to the thing. I had to go up there and do this by myself. She wasn't even there, right? She had to go to work. So anyway, out of 100 students, I actually was able to place second in the science fair. Second place in the science fair. The people that won the science fair did something with electricity, which again, you really can't beat that. Again, I didn't have to make a potato, use a potato to light up a light bulb, right? Like I didn't do that project that people tend to typically do. I talked about something basic, something that I could understand, and also something that I could articulate to the masses, where I could take certain things within that project and display it to them so that they could understand, like, okay, this is why he's talking about this detergents and why he likes this and why he likes that and whatever the case is, right? So it started to shift for me that not only that technology, science and technology was going to be very important thanks to my mother, but it also got me to understanding that your presentation in reference to how you deliver the science and or the technology matters just as much. Guys, I talked about laundry detergent. Like, no one would even think today that a laundry detergent topic would be something that would be in reference to science and or technology, right? So I say all that to say the presentation of being able to talk about technology matters just as much as you being able to know the technical background, have technical acumen in what it is that you're doing, guys. And I think that gets lost a lot today, okay? So at this point now, I'm in high school. And this is where the shift started to become. Science fair is over. Now I'm in high school. Now I'm transitioning to work now more within the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field, which, of course, guys, you know as STEM. And they were offering STEM programs in my school. And I said, you know what, this is the lane to start getting into because there's something here. And we were using old Mac computers, right? I mean, they were new back then, but they're old now. They had colorful backs and stuff like that. These were old, big computers or whatnot. I'll probably see if I can leave a picture in this to show you what it used to look like for those of you who don't know. But I remember being in my classes and understanding that, you know what, understanding technology and science to a degree is going to change the world. And I needed to find out where my place was with trying to push this forward, right? So throughout my high school career, I started to develop a knack for science and technology even more than I had before. I had gotten so good at science and technology in high school that I eventually started to get into honors classes as well as gifted and talented classes for science, math, and technology. So that is when right there my mind started to shift. I said, you know what, I don't know what I'm going to do yet in the field because I was still very young and I was an athlete. So I played on a football team and a basketball team. So I still was thinking like I'm going to play in the NFL. That was my thought. But I knew that there was something after the NFL career was over to technology. I knew that there was something to it. I just didn't know what at that time. Then we transitioned over to college, right? So in college, I did struggle a bit because, again, I'm in a new place, a new world. I'm around people I don't know. I think when I went to college, I only knew one person that I went to high school with. Everyone else was completely new to me. And I kind of wanted it that way. I wanted to be in a different world, right? And I'm going to talk about that in another video. But what happened was that when I got to college, they had a STEM program. And that completely changed my landscape on what it is that I could do. So not only now was I a business major, but I was also a minor in technology, or they called it information systems when I was in college. So going to the STEM program when I was in college, it gave me the ability to travel throughout the United States to multiple STEM programs to where there was a lot of government contracting companies that were looking for students who were interested in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That right there was a huge wake-up call for me because at that time, before I went on those trips, I didn't know what was out there for this field. I knew that there was something, I just didn't know. And I had no idea where I would fit. But going to these seminars, listening to other people from Department of Defense speak, Department of Defense Threat Reduction Agency, cybersecurity engineers coming in, talking to people, being able to just sit in all these seminars and all these organizations with all these federal agencies and federal government contracting companies. It started to shape the picture for me. I said, you know what? This is the lane that I want to be in. I want to be in this realm. And the opportunities are endless, right? The opportunities are endless in this field. Guys, use so many things within technology and within this field that you can do. And I want to wrap this video up by saying this. For those of you who are struggling to figure out, number one, if you want to get into tech and where your place is going to be in tech, number one, guys, you don't necessarily have to love it to be in it, okay? I will be completely honest with you guys. I am not some tech lover, like where I love technology. I gush over anything like that. Guys, I just understand that technology is the wave of the future and we must adapt to it, right? So that is what got me into this field. It wasn't necessarily for the love of technology. It was just to understand that there was going to be a need in this field, and I wanted to be one of the people that was riding the wave with it, with technology, as opposed to pushing it away like I had been doing as I was a kid, to be in this field. That was what I started to think about, and that is what started to make everything hit home for me. So number one, again, you don't have to love tech to be in it, guys. You just need to understand the needs of the business, right? That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, guys, you can do this. And as long as you make sure that you understand what lane in technology you want to go down, right? And it's going to take time. You need to take certification classes. You need to go ahead and listen to other people to find out what paths they take and see if you want to walk down a similar path. Guys, I've just helped somebody over this weekend be able to try to figure out what their technology path is, because they believe that they were supposed to go down this way. But as you ask particular questions to see what it is they're interested in, you kind of have them going in another direction. Now, they may end up in another direction later on, but they do understand that in order to get started, they need to go this way first. So I say all that, guys, to say I did not always love tech, but I always knew that I wanted to be a part of something bigger. And I knew that technology one day would be as big as it is now. Now, did I know about AI and all the other stuff? No, I had no idea, guys. But the writing was always on the wall. Technology is ever changing. It is ever evolving, guys. And for those of you who really want to get involved with it, guys, please hit me up. Let me know in the comments, guys, if there's something that you hate, or something that you didn't like, but now you like it, and it's a weird way that you like it now versus the way you thought you were going to like it. Yeah, guys. So again, just let me know in the comments again if there's anything that you have been, I guess, if you've put off, that you knew like, oh my God, I don't like this, but eventually you just learned to like it because of you maybe found that there was a need in it. It was going to be something that you didn't think it was going to be, guys. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you guys with similar stories like that. Yeah, it's just insane to think like, one place you didn't think you would be, and then fast forward years later, you're in a completely different space, in an area where you never thought you would be in. So yeah, guys, just let me know. And thanks again for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.